Hi, this is Professor Zygmunt again for CTS560 Online. In this week's assignment, you'll be building some new molecules and then running optimization and frequency calculations on them. And I just want to show you how to accomplish this process because these will be built from molecules that you've already done calculations on. And so just as the homework assignment explains, what I will do is first open up the Gaussian output file from a calculation that I've already done, and that will be the CHOOH321G, a log file. And so I get the molecule that opens up here, and the instructions are to use the delete atom tool, which is right here on the GaussVIew menu, to get rid of the acidic proton. And so I click on that, it gets rid of the atom, and then I'll use the clean button, which is the little paintbrush icon here, in order to do a little pre-optimization that hopefully will make this calculation go faster. Then, in order to save it as an input file, we're going to do calculate Gaussian. And one thing that's important here is that we go through all of the different buttons and make sure that the settings are set properly. So the job type, for some reason, when you open up an already converged geometry of a molecule, some of these defaults are set in a way that we need to change them. So the job type that we want to do is, again, opt plus freak, just like before, optimize to a minimum. The method is the same, only now remember that we really want to simply remove the proton from this neutral molecule, which will then make the charge not 0, but -1. See, we only remove the positively charged proton, leaving behind all of the electrons, and so now the net charge is -1. And if I hit return, the spin automatically goes to singlet, which is what we want, because all of the electrons are paired up just like they were in the neutral molecule. So we go to now the title, and I want to change the title somehow to indicate that it's no longer the CHOOH molecule, but I'm going to replace the H with a minus because I've removed the proton and now there's a net negative charge. Link 0, we need to do the same thing. I don't want to overwrite the check file that I used for the other molecule, so I'll change the name to replace the H with a minus sign. Then in general, I want to get rid of the right connectivity. In guess, for some reason the guess method is set to read the guess for the wave function from a checkpoint file. We want to go back to the default. NBO should not have anything. Salvation, okay, for some reason the salvation for this molecule is set as the default, and we will use that later on in this assignment, but for now we want to make it none because we're not going to include the effect of a solvent. So we've gone through all of these buttons, and the one last thing we have to do before we submit the file in order to save it is to clear out all of the additional keywords. So once I do that and I'm ready to go, submit, right, save the file, and then we'll save it to a new name. Once again, I don't want to overwrite the name that we already have, and so I would change the name here by putting a minus sign in. I've already done this, so I'm not going to save it right here, but that's what you would do in order to save the input file for this negatively charged molecule. Well, negatively charged molecules in chemistry are called anions. Positively charged molecules are cations. So the only thing that you'll do differently in the later part of the assignment, when you want to include the salvation effects, is you'll have all of the other settings set the same way. You'll change the title to include something about the fact that you're now going to include the effects of salvation. And when you go to the salvation model, if it doesn't already say default, you'll want to choose the model to be the default model and the solvent to be water. And those usually come up that way as the default settings in the salvation. So just make sure that you do it that way, clear out the additional keywords, and then you're ready to go ahead and save the file. So hopefully that helps you efficiently set up the new calculations that are required for this assignment.